Alright folks, Arvlane here, and welcome to what is probably, well, it's going to be the last regular episode of the series, because I have learned a lot from my time doing this so far, but there's a bunch of stuff that I want to go away and do, and try and get done and learn and think about before I do what I intended on being my sort of proper series once the Alpha 11 comes out. So yeah, I thought what I would do is just batter through a quick day and actually just go through some of the stuff that I've picked up on. As you can see, I mean, my base is looking quite neat at the moment. The only problem is that it was something I discovered. I actually died again. I don't know if it's in the one of the comments. I replied and I died again, and the reason I died again was because I got a little bit complacent because the day 21 horde was not particularly strong, but the reality was that the day 28 one was bloody hard. They also came at a bad angle. Just to show you, there is where they came in. I was actually lucky to survive initially, but it made me think about something that there's a lot talked about what you build with, but there's very little talked about what you build on. Now, I was a noob and used the snow as a ramp, but I forgot all that would get destroyed in the explosions, at least eventually. And it made me think, the death made me think about a lot of things in that regard. And there's some things I want to go and think about. And I mean, things like this, if you're using a prefab, that's all repairs from basically the dogs burrowing under the snow in the house. So you can see it's not just the wood. It's not just the fact that you're building with wood. It's the fact that it's things like this. Like I say, this was where they actually burrowed under. The ground had been blown away, and they got a foothold underneath, and they managed to burrow their way under. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly It's certainly something to seriously consider. You can't just think about the material you're building with. You've got to think about the material you're building on, which I didn't. You know, it's one of those sort of noob error things. So yeah. So at the moment, it's it's been a learning experience, and why am I not getting that 9mm bullet tip? Oh, I've built one before, that's why. I'm not going to make all of these because I want to go for a quick run, so I'll quickly just craft up some bullets. They don't actually have any, or not many, because I'm going to kind of give us something to do. I'm going to go and take a quick trip down to the Shotgun Messiah and see what's happening down there, because obviously that'll have respawned. I mean, I intend on continuing to play the game, this particular save, because I want to find out whether there's actually more points of interest anywhere. It would be quite helpful if there was. But yeah, I mean, there's various things that I've learned in doing this. The very first one really is that the decisions that I made initially regarding, well, I mean, how I acted in the beginning is not helpful, because the fact is that I spent so much time panicking that I made a whole bunch of bad decisions. You know, I made a whole bunch of bad decisions. As you can see, some of the decisions eventually panned out, but the thing is, I now have a good amount of supplies. You'll also notice that I now have a set of pipe bombs, which would have actually saved me from the second death, because the reason I died was because that hatch was a hole, and they were basically blowing the crap out of the roof, and I was busily repairing it, and then I unfortunately fell through that hole down into a whole bunch of nasty zombies. So yeah, that went well. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's lots of things that I started doing that I'm thinking back and thinking, no, actually, I mean, some of it I've mentioned as I've gone, but yeah, I mean, the standing your ground in the first little while, the first half an hour, the irony being the fact that in some ways you're actually stronger at the beginning than you are later on, because if you manage to keep yourself going, if you don't find food and water, you will become weaker. So therefore, your health will go down, your maximum health will go down, your maximum stamina will go down. I mean, the situation I got to when I eventually found the Shotgun Messiah and went and raided it was that I was really quite weak. But if I'd actually stood my ground in the first place, I might not have been in that situation. So, like I say, very much a case of it's learning to sort of, figure out what the reality of a situation was. And I'm actually going to go and make a new pistol. I can't be bothered. I've got weapon kits, but I've got at least one other pistol, so I think we'll just use that. Just make a fresh one because I've got some bits, and I can make more bits. So yeah, I mean, like I say, oh. Alright, okay. Must have finished. Oh well, that's a relief. Yeah, forgetting that you're actually doing stuff and then put stuff in the thing. But yeah, like I say, it's been very much a learning experience. When I first started playing, I played that sort of fearful style. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a legitimate choice, but actually, there's better ways. I think there's better ways of doing it, and that's what I'm going to stick with at the moment. So yes, but yeah, like I say, I wish I hadn't. Actually, I'm going to do. No, I'll show you my hatch. I won't actually go in the hatch, but yeah, that actually leads to my mine. I discovered that my mine was actually quite close to the surface, and so we now have a little entry hole. I'm not going to use it here because I'm just going to jump off the wall. Oh yeah, I need to set my waypoint, don't I? Right, okay, right, we're going. Right. Ooh, they broke that. Right, okay. Right. Well, they didn't break it, but I'm not going to fix it just now. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole. Like I say, the main one is not to be necessarily panicking every 2 minutes, because the thing is, yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, being in a snow biome doesn't help. But I mean, if I actually there was I think it's Peter34 on the 7 Days to Die forums made a comment about how the burn zones aren't actually that dangerous because there's no dogs, and he's actually got a point. But the difficulty I had, and as I pointed out, was the fact that it was the fear that stopped me from making the good decisions. Not necessarily that I wouldn't have made the good decisions, but when you're in a panic, oh hello guys. Ooh, why is there a big guy in the middle of the water? Right, anyway. Panic. Not total panic. Yeah, here you go. But yeah, it's difficult to be sort of like, how would you put it? It's difficult to be sort of exact and proper and neat when you're basically shitting it. Right, I'm not going to be particularly quiet about this. Oh no. Right, okay, we're going to go over here. I'm going to come at this from the road. Got a horde running past. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's quite difficult to actually be a good player when you're panicking about everything. And now that I've actually played the game a bit and played at this difficulty level, it made me realise that there isn't such a need to panic. There isn't such a need to panic. Unless there's a zombie behind me who might hit me. It's like, I'm not going to be sort of like grabbed by like a massive horde in the first 30 seconds, you know what I mean? And it was that sort of thing that I was worried about, But the reality of it is that, who's that? The reality of it is that I'm not, So I'm as well just like taking my time a little bit, standing my ground and just going, right, okay. I think there were zombies over there. Oh, there's quite a few of them. Sensed. Why am I sensed? Right, okay. Nah, I've been spotted by something. I don't know if it's her. Probably her. Oh, there's loads of them. You know, but yeah. Take a little bit of time, don't panic. You know, because panicking is not going to help, you know. You know. See, this is what I couldn't do before, you know what I mean? This was the sort of thing I couldn't do before. So I got in a state, you know what I mean? And now it's like, right, okay, not missed. Oh god, they're all over the place. Oh. Alright, okay. This is bizarrely busy. This might just take a little bit longer than I thought. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is that, like I say, it's certain decisions that you make that give you a perspective on, you know, what you're doing, and you know, make you make basically bad choices. You know what I mean? And yet, here I am, in nothing like a panic that I was. Oh, another one. Oh, help! Ah, but you see, like I say, if I woo, oh, that was a bit close. That was a little close. I didn't want you. I wanted to hit your head. Right, okay. You know, but like I say, there you go. Half a horde. All gone. Now, the annoying thing is, I can hear another one. There's still at least a couple of others. But I don't know whether I'm actually looking at a horde or just a bunch of random wanderers. Whoa! Bloody hell. Is this with this spawn? Right, okay. These ones are just body shot now. They're just a pain in the arse to head hit because of the fact that you're... Yeah. Times like this I wish I had a bigger weapon. I've got the pistol, I know, but I wasn't intending on using that in that way, you know what I mean? Oh, missed. Right, okay. I get near the place. Yeah, really can't get near the place. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I say, the one thing that I would say is not to be too fearful about the initial. I mean, obviously, if you're playing on a difficulty level where you've got, like, you know, feral zombies always running and all that sort of stuff, then yeah, I mean, it's going to be. Oh, missed you. It's going to be a lot of a different proposition, because the fact is that if you know, they're genuinely dangerous. You know, they're genuinely dangerous. So, so I mean, obviously you have to balance it for your difficulty level. Right, I'm never going to get anywhere near this before this is finished. I'm starting to run out of time. But yeah, like I say, I mean, very much a case of if you panic in the first few minutes, then all that really happens is that you just make bad choices. You don't think about the things that will actually save you, will likely save your life. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that being a little bit concerned is a good thing. Right, we cleared it now. Alright, okay. See, like I say, there's the thing. I mean, in these circumstances, I have cleared this area. No panic, no mess. I haven't even pulled the pistol yet, which is what I made the ammo for, just in case. Because I thought, well... because I didn't want to... sort of leave myself in a position where... you know, I kind of like didn't have an ability just to like fire off lots of shots, you know, and we're done, I think. Yeah, see, there you go. No panic, no mess, no fuss. Now the thing is, I still don't know if there's anything any of them inside. But like I say, that if you think about, if you go back to the original videos. It's going to be empty, isn't it? That's going to be really, really irritating if that's all empty. If you go back to the original videos, you'll see me running around like a rabbit. And you wouldn't have seen me basically just do what I did. You know, I mean, okay, admittedly, I've got the advantage of plenty of ammunition and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's a bit of confidence, you know what I mean? Just sort of like saying, right, no, I'm not going to run away. You know, I mean... Running is a legitimate option, but you've also got to, you've also got to think about it from the point of view of you know, there's no point in just running and running and running and running and running and running and running. You've got to balance it with actually getting stuff done. Oh, sniper receiver and handgun. I think I've got a sniper rifle. I think I've actually got a sniper rifle. Ha 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 ha. You're coming to the end of the series and I've got a sniper rifle. But yeah, like I say, balance. If you stand your ground a little bit and actually deal with the things in the area and then clear a space, then what will happen is you'll give yourself time to actually figure out what's going on. See, I didn't give myself that chance, you know. I ran away. I oh. I hope I get a chance to look across the road. That might be just out of the back. We'll just run across. You know, I don't have a lot of time. How did I get in here again? Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, bells. Right. Always one. And this is what I came here for. Something nice. I don't know if I've got anything from that. But yeah. Wrong button. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's very much a case of trying to be a little bit sensible about it, you know, and that's hard. That can be hard when you're in the beginning of the game and you panic and you think every zombie's going to one-shot me. Not the case unless you're playing on some really difficult level. So, like I say, that is kind of my what I've learned from this. Got hundreds of feathers. The fact is that you're not, you know, if you can sort of like just be careful and actually, you know, sort of think about a little bit about what you're doing rather than just running, then, you know, you're probably going to have a better time of it, you know. I ran and you saw what happened in the end. You know what I mean? You saw what happened in the end. So, you know, I struggled, you know. I struggled because of that. You know, I mean, okay, I didn't have the Forge book, but that obviously was a negative, but it wasn't. That wasn't the only thing that went wrong. And that was this RNG. It's the decisions that I made that were the problem with that, because the decisions that I made tainted the whole rest of the game. Because the dysentery, for example, giving yourself a disease just because you need a bit of water is not necessarily the best thing to do, because the other effects of that are, far more significant and caused a lot more bother. Don't get me wrong. If you changed what happened, then it might be a case of that I would have gotten infected and would have ended up like needing antibiotics anyway. You know what I mean? You just don't know. You don't know. But like I say, I certainly would have made my life a lot easier if I hadn't given myself dysentery. Simple as that. So yeah, like I say, I've learned a good bit from this, and I think I've managed to sort of learn from most of the mistakes that I've made. I'm stuck. And like I say, there are certain things that... Oh, you'll get to see it anyway. There are certain things in those mistakes. Where is it? Oh, I need to build holes on both sides. Oh, is that late? Oh god, didn't realise. Oh crap. That was a little close. I didn't realise it was quite so late. Now that would have been a mistake. That's another thing. Don't forget to check what time it is. Yeah, that's my mind. Oh. So yeah, learn from your mistakes, and like I say, try not to be too fearful so that you don't make mistakes in the first place. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I have reached my base. I am now back home. I have successfully negotiated 7 Days to Die in this series, with only 2 deaths. But to be honest, it's 4 days until the next horde, and there is a lot of work needing done in this base. I'm going to actually get it to something to, or I'm going to have to watch it get battered a bit in that next horde, but we'll see. Anyway, have fun. I will be doing a new set of videos for Alpha 11, although I may do occasional updates of what's going on here, but we'll see. And hopefully I'll be doing it a little bit better than I did it in this series. I think I've improved, and hopefully I have given you a little bit of a laugh, and given you some useful info in some ways. And so anyway, take care, have fun, we'll see you next time. Bye. Sniper rifle. My gun. My gun. Yes.